Okay, so what if there was a way for you to buy something that would end up making you money off of that thing that you spent money on? It's almost counterintuitive, but there are things that we can buy that can end up making us more money or saving us money and putting us in a better financial position. And since that is the primary topic of this channel, I thought I would come out with 7 different things that you could buy that in most cases will end up making you money over the long run. And look, we know the obvious ones like buy rental properties or buy stocks. Yeah, those are pretty obvious. Today, we're gonna try to find some different ones that we don't discuss very often, but can end up putting you in a better financial position. So if you wanna see more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and let's talk about the first one, which is security cameras. Now, having security cameras for your home or your apartment, it can be pretty beneficial. It could be $20 or $30 that you pay for something like this. It can end up saving you a lot of headache when somebody robs your house at some point in the future, and then, hey, you can see who it was, you can get all your stuff back, right? So it's gonna be an investment that I think is worth it for most people. It also gives you a little bit more peace of mind, but even more important than that, I would argue, is dash cameras. So get a dash camera, $20 on Amazon, $30 on eBay, and this is going to save you so much headache. I know one of my friends in college rolled up to a stop sign. She stops at the stop sign, this meth head comes running out, flops on top of the windshield, and then topples onto the pavement. And I think she ended up just driving away, which then that would have been worse, because then that's called a hit and run, and then you end up in a lot of trouble. They end up hitting you with a fat, juicy lawsuit, and you lose a lot of money, all because you didn't have a dash camera to prove that this person jumped on top of your car to try to claim some type of insurance from that. It's called insurance fraud. I don't know if just everybody in Russia has dash cameras, or if this just happens more often in Russia, but somehow I end up in these like loops of watching insurance fraud videos on YouTube, just like hours and hours of it. I'm pretty sure that's just because a lot of people have dash cameras in Russia, I think. But either way, look, it's important. It's a little investment that you make, and it's going to save you so much trouble, especially if you get in car accidents, or if there's insurance fraud of any type, or if somebody just keys your car, you're gonna be able to see, oh, it was that person because I have my dash camera right there. It's gonna be really nice. So another option is solar panels. Now there's gonna be 3 primary factors that will help you decide whether this is going to be a good investment or if it's just going to be a terrible decision that you make and then you regret dropping all that money on solar panels when you live in Seattle or in Pittsburgh or Buffalo, New York, where it's cloudy more often than it is sunny. Probably doesn't make very much sense there. Or it probably also doesn't make sense in a place like Oklahoma, where the cost of energy is like 8 cents per kilowatt hour, versus if you live in California and you can also get tax credits, or in a state like Hawaii, where the average cost of energy is well over 32 cents per kilowatt hour, it could make a lot more sense. So factor in those 3 things. How much sun do you get? Do you have a roof in the first place? And also, how much does energy cost in your area? And so factor all those in, also including the tax benefits, and see whether or not it's going to be worth it for you. Now, the one thing that I really like about this is that it has that self-sufficiency sort of idea behind it, which means that, hey, if we have another energy crisis like the 1970s again, and suddenly we have all these problems with securing fossil fuels for some reason, and somebody cuts us off, and suddenly the price of oil and the price of energy goes up drastically, then you might just be, hey, you know, I got my electricity over here with my solar panels, feeling pretty good, and also feeling, you know, a little bit eco-friendly on the side. So the third one here that I wanted to discuss, you know, I never really made a full video about this because it tends to get sort of a bad rap from a number of people, and for good reason. It's because there are some pretty scummy things going on in this industry, but that's actually cryptocurrency. So I've sort of come around on this a little bit for cryptocurrency. I don't dump all of my money into cryptocurrency, but I do own some Bitcoin. I do own a couple of different currencies, but not extremely sizable amounts because it is still pretty risky. But if you just look at the average price of Bitcoin compared to, say, the stock market in just 2020, you can see that it has far outperformed the stock market, especially when we have turbulent economic times like we do at the moment. Having some Bitcoin, it does help alleviate some levels of stress that I have about the current society that we live in and the current money system and fiat currencies. And so I'll leave a link to Coinbase down below. I think they're not sponsoring this video technically, but I think if you sign up through the link below, you'll get like $10 in free Bitcoin if you invest $100 into cryptocurrency with Coinbase, which I would argue is the most reputable place to buy or sell cryptocurrency. So I'll leave that link down below, but let's keep going on with the video. I do put a small percentage of my assets into something like cryptocurrency, which can help sort of diversify some of your assets. Of course, just be aware, there's a lot of risk involved. All right, another one is having a toolbox. Buying tools and equipment in general it's going to save you money. I still don't understand how some people don't know the difference between a hammer and a screwdriver. Like they're, you know, I'm not hating on anybody, but if you want to save some money and you want to get in a better financial position, then just consider becoming a little bit more handy with the things around you. If your dishwasher breaks, maybe learn how to fix it. If your car breaks down, maybe try to learn how to fix it, or at least take a couple of steps to learn how to fix it instead of taking it to the mechanic or instantly just calling the plumber because you have a leaky pipe, which you could easily just fix by just tightening it, and you end up spending like $200 to get the plumber out there. There's a lot of things that people just do that it's a big waste of money. So become a little bit more handy, learn some things. I got a toolbox when I was in college, my sophomore year. It was like $20. I probably got it from Walmart for literally $20, and it saved me a ton of money that I would have otherwise spent by having to call people to get people to fix stuff all the time. Okay, so this next one is just a journal. I mean, this probably cost me $15 or $20. I get a new one every year, but this can make you so much more money. I know it's just some paper, but so many people don't write anything down anymore these days, especially. And I find that writing things down, dumping my thoughts, my ideas, if you're looking to make more money, write down business ideas, talk about your finances, start to really, really dump some different ideas and your thoughts down on paper, and then you can look back on it over time. Now, I actually found that something like this really does help me make a lot more money because, especially sometimes in my life, when maybe my ideas start to go off into the wrong path, or I start to, prioritize things in life that I should not be prioritizing. And then I start to go back and I read through things that I wrote down years ago, and I remember, hey, this is what I'm really doing. This is really my plan. This is where I want to be. So writing things down, man, I'm telling you, it helps so much. Journaling. I think I'm going to make a separate video about this. If you want to see a separate video about journaling, my strategy for it, how I do it, and how it really does help me, leave a comment down below and then upvote that comment for other people if you want to see it, because I'm not going to make it if people don't want to watch it, but if you do, please let me know, because I would like to talk about it. Okay, so this next one, it's not going to be for everyone, but there are some people out there that I think could actually benefit from this financially, and that's by buying a fan, like a $10 or $15 fan from Walmart, and using that instead of cooling your entire house with an air conditioner with a central cooling system that might cost you $245 per month to cool a 1,200 square foot house. I think that data comes from Realtor.com. But cooling a house with air conditioning can actually be really, really expensive. It takes up a lot of energy. Not only is it kind of bad for the environment because you're just consuming a ton of energy, but it's also really not necessary, in my opinion, based off of where I live. I mean, in Philadelphia, it gets to about 89 degrees as a high in July, which is pretty hot and it's pretty humid. But even at that, I mean, for the first 18 years of my life, we didn't have air conditioners in our house. We just used fans. And I don't know if that was because my parents were trying to save money. I think it was just because they just didn't like air conditioners. But eventually you just get used to it, and you never really kind of notice the heat. I use air conditioners now at the moment, but it's still something that can save you a lot of money if you really wanted to do that. Just start using fans instead of air conditioners, because they really can rack up an electricity bill very, very much. All right, so there's another one that we could think about that, it's once again not going to apply to everyone, but artwork in some cases can retain its value very, very well. Now, not all artwork. I mean, my artwork from 10th grade art class, I mean, my mom doesn't even want it. She'll probably throw it out. And there's some things that just are absolutely horrendous. But then there's other artwork like, hey, let's say you got a Picasso painting in your bathroom and you're just like taking a dump every day and you're looking at it and thinking, how much money do you think this is worth? I can tell you that some artwork has appreciated much quicker, much faster than something like the stock market over the course of many decades. It really depends on the artist, and honestly, you're probably going to already have to have a sizable amount of money, or just know that someone's truly up and coming as an artist and that they're going to make it really big. So it's probably not overall a great investment to just invest into artwork, but if you're really selective about it, it could maintain or retain its value over a period of time. It really does depend. So that's why we're going to leave a big fat juicy question mark at the end of this one, because hey, it's a little bit risky. And then the final one is buying some seeds. I mean, just go onto a website, buy some seeds, and then plant a garden this summer. I mean, we're in May right now. It's a perfect time to plant stuff. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I was just weird growing up, and I just grew stuff for fun. Like I didn't have friends. I would just grow stuff like this pumpkin, and that was what I did in my free time. But so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but hey, just start a garden. You're not only going to save some money, but if you wanted to, you could also sell that produce and make money off of that. I know a lot of people who do that in my local area, and they make a decent amount of money, you know, come August when they start selling all of their vegetables. And it's just kind of a great thing to do. I think it's pretty therapeutic, honestly, just pulling weeds in your garden all day. But yeah, that's the video. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you want to see that journaling video, because I will make it if you guys want to see it. But yeah, so thank you. I'll see everybody next time.